Welcome to Linda's TV show, the home of news. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. Please, I beg you for a favor, smash on that red button that says subscribe. Beside that red button is a notification bell. The essence of that bell is for you to be updated or informed each time or day I upload a new video. My returning subscribers, those who keep on watching my videos each time I upload, I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your comments in all my videos, both negative and positive ones. Thank you.
Message is for all Biafrans, all Oduduwas, all freedom lovers, fighters, and all people of good conscience. In this world, we are all renting as tenants. In this world, we all came as visitors, strangers. In this world, we all emerged from the womb totally empty-handed, with nothing. This message is for humanity, people of good conscience. And it's important we pay heed to this message. The reason being that we're all here for a season. And just like we came into this world for unique work, unique and transient work, though as we come empty-handed, so we must all leave empty-handed. This message, the whole essence of it, is to ensure that we accomplished our work here on earth, because there is nowhere else to take it when we depart. So we can all understand what we are charged to do as mortal beings, because we are not animals and we are not God, the creator, the owner of the world and creator of all things. Hence, we all came in totally empty-handed. We are also not animals, because it's important we understand this. We're not animals that depend on us, mortal beings, and or nature for the reproduction of the basic food they eat, from location to location, in regards to whichever species, because what each species eats in one location of this world is what that particular species eats wherever you find them across the globe. No animal is capable of reproducing, neither multiplying what they eat. Rather, all animals must depend and will always depend on us, mortal beings, and or nature for the reproduction of what they eat. Now the message is for you as a mortal being with free will, with choice, with autonomy, with power to alter things. This message is critical, and please do not miss it. I want to remind all of you that humanity have been fooled enough. I want to remind all of you that all the madness you see going on around the world is only based on hegemony. Hegemony is a word that has nothing to do with mortal beings that have free will, that have autonomy, that are uniquely gifted. Mortal beings are uniquely gifted for complementary purposes, for cooperation purposes, for collaboration purposes, for partnership purposes. That is the whole essence of giving mortal beings free will, unique ability, and choice, so that we can complement, we can collaborate, and we can cooperate in partnership with one another. That's why this message is critical, and I want to make sure every sane person tries to relate to what this message is all about. So today I ask of you, those that are fighting for their freedom that is a given by God who created all of us. It's a given. Otherwise, there will be no free will. Otherwise, there will be no autonomy. Otherwise, we wouldn't have respective unique food types from location to location. Otherwise, we would have all been animals assigned by nature in terms of what we ate and how we eat them. But we are given autonomy and power of choice, power to determine. But with those power that we are given comes limitations. And that is why I speak to all of you this evening. And the message is very essential. What I am saying to you all that are looking for freedom, which is sad because you're not meant to be looking for freedom. You're not meant to be looking for freedom. Freedom is yours. From the time you come into this world, autonomy is given. And the responsibility for us to help every baby to grow is the same responsibility those before us had to enable us to grow. So we are not doing any babies any favors, because each fetus, each baby is coming with their own unique qualities for our own good. You know, when we develop the spiritual eyes, we'll begin to see the things that we ought to be doing here, and we wouldn't be derailed. So, the message today is this. I want every freedom fighter, I want every Biafran, I want every Oduduwa, those that believe they're deserving of freedom, they're deserving of self-representation, self-actualization, because that you're entitled to it. It's yours. People are not meant to be imposing themselves on others. We don't do it to our grown-up children. We don't do it to our partners. It is be viewed as abuse, exploitation. So if we cannot do it to our adult children, why would we consider it appropriate to do to other people, other communities, other countries, especially when we are all here on a journey? When you understand what I'm saying, you would know that I shouldn't even be telling you that you ought to know that all you need is freedom. In any situation you find yourself that restricts you, that situation is not for you. It's not for mortal beings. And that's why a place called Nigeria is a typical example of something that has nothing to do with humanity. And that's why it is important for people to really, really ask themselves serious questions and say, how on earth were people allowed? How on earth did humanity allow such evil to come upon humanity? That from the onset, a place was designed to produce malfunction in this level to this level. A place was poisoned from the root. And somehow people have been conditioned to believe and to hope that one day a poisoned root can suddenly produce a fruit that will be healthy for humanity. Somehow, people have been conditioned to somehow believe and anticipate that one day a poisoned chalice can suddenly contain drinkable water. A poisoned chalice. You see, when people learn and get to appreciate what Nigeria represents, nobody will be talking about elections at all. When you understand the evil sown in that contraption called Nigeria, you won't be talking about elections at all. You want to be spilling it out. Nigeria should be spilled out. Okay? Nigeria should vanish. In fact, the only reason the name Nigeria should have a place in the museum is for future generations to go and study how a place ought not to be. That is the only reason why that name should be retained, and that structure should be put in a way that people can go and relate. You know, as sociology students, people have thought about a state of anomie. Nigeria is worse than a state of anomie, a state of normlessness. Because you see, people who haven't understood Nigeria, even as things are happening before them right now, that people are already printing voters' cards in some areas, that voters' cards are being printed even outside of the country called Nigeria, which is not a country. Even as these things are happening, people are still hoping and believing that, oh, no, it's going to be fine one day. Even as the byproducts of what Nigeria is about, those byproducts are being revealed on a daily basis, pointing to the fact that this is an impossibility. No matter the best intentions of anybody, that this is an impossibility. Signs are there every day. Every day, people are telling you the malpractices that have already started, even before the election hasn't started, but the malpractice showing you that this is an impossibility are already there. You saw a presidential candidate, Koro, as you people will say, design bishops' outfits, clergy outfits, and it is still okay for him to run, because the more criminal-minded you are, the more you can display your criminality, the more it validates your candidacy. When I say that Nigeria is designed not only to ruin human ingenuity, it is also designed to produce malfunction on a regular, on a persistent, on a progressive, and on a permanent basis. People don't understand what those adjectives mean, especially the adjective that said on a progressive basis. It is that progression that led to a situation right now where people could see Peter Obi, who is corrupt, if you go into real corruption index and study Peter Obi very well. But Peter Obi is seeing him as a saint because of the quality of the other two when it comes to corruption. But what is before you are already people who have been in government and have failed woefully. For me, the only thing Peter Obi will tell you is how much money he saved. But Peter Obi will not tell you how much of Anambra State money that he took into offshore accounts. And he would not tell you that you can't say you are running people's life or leading people and all you're doing is saving money. You're not investing that money into quality health care that you yourself as a leader will be attending. You're not using that money. You say, what are you saving the money for? No, what is money meant for? If the job of governance is to save money, then there should be nothing called governance. There is nothing to prove that somebody is sure. Look, all I'm saying anyway, without even looking at individuals who are coming up as candidates, is that Nigeria is an impossibility. Even angels can't deal with it. 1 million Peter Obi cannot change a poisoned chalice. The symptoms are already going on in the north in terms of production of voters card, and in fact thumb printing already would tell you that it's another waste of time. Okay, another it's like I think it was somebody like Mazin Nandekan who says it's a renewal of your slavery certificate. That is just what it is. A renewal of your slavery certificate, nothing else. So if people are not prepared to do any other thing, I urge people to go, sit down, get the name Nigeria, look at the contraption, look at what has happened in it, look at it from 1960 and start working your way down. Study it very well. Study it. You will suddenly realize what it represents. Look at how it was structured. Look at the 1999 Constitution. Take your time. Before you can stand for something or pull yourself off something, you need a critical analysis of that thing. What I find is that you're dealing with that crowd mentality, what I call gullible crowd mentality, because the crowd, anyway, are renowned for being stupid and useless because they sing only one song per season. They will say Hosanna today, tomorrow they will say crucify him, because the crowd has no analytical skill. Even if they cannot critically analyze anything, they go by the flow. Now, all I'm asking is for people, forget about your stomach, your immediate satisfaction of your stomach, or what you think you're going to benefit. Freedom is everything. Freedom is everything. Freedom takes care of everything. Freedom. So forget about what you might think, how you've positioned yourself in the APC, or where you have positioned yourself in PDP, or where you have positioned yourself in the Labour Party. Forget about all those nonsense and look at the chalice, the poison chalice called Nigeria, and ask yourself whether in your sane mind, okay, you would wish that for your enemy. Bring Frederick Lugard out right now. Go and ask Boris Johnson, the last prime minister before this one, yeah, whether he would really love to be a party, to have a government or to have a structure like Nigeria. Because you see, if something is not good for you, you shouldn't be giving it to somebody else. If something is not good for you, you are not meant to be giving it to somebody else. I can assure you there is no British person that would wish Nigeria on themselves. None, unless if they have just become crazy newly. Because if you have been mad for a long time and get to know a place called Nigeria, you will never accept it. It has to be somebody who has just become crazy newly, that is a British, that will wish Nigeria on themselves. I am warning humanity right now. Nigeria is a project humanity must get rid of. Nigeria represents hegemony. Nigeria represents racism. Nigeria represents fraud. Nigeria represents all the evils associated with humanity. Nigeria represents everything bad, and it can only progressively get worse. Forget about what they are presenting to you. But now you are seeing the same symptoms I know will always remain there. Votes are being cast as we speak. They are thumb printing as we speak. People are doing, look, I pity anybody thinking that Nigeria will suddenly, keep hoping against hope. That is what we call delusional hope. Delusional, because it's not based on reality. It doesn't matter what you're told. Forget about it. It's a poison chalice. It can never change under this structure. And Nobody can change the structure as far as it bears the name Nigeria. It's impossible. Humanity needs to stand up against Nigeria. Humanity means every citizen of this world of good conscience must stand up and rid Nigeria from humanity. It's too poisonous. It's too hazardous. It's not at all something that we should even be contemplating. Nigeria should have been finished yesterday. So, my message to Oduduwas, my message for the Yoruba nation people, my message for Biafrans, particularly Biafrans, because I need to say this to you, because I have read so many places now where it seems to me that what is dominating the energy is more of who sold Mazin Nandekano, how much he was sold, the allegations here and there. Can I just call on all of you that are genuinely pursuing Biafra to concentrate your minds on just two things? Two things. But let me start by saying what you must not ever worry yourself about. The process by which Mazin Nandekano was kidnapped should no longer be the focus now. No point in wasting any time discussing those now. No point in discussing those that you believe may have sold Mazin Nandekano. There is no need. There is time for everything. Everything has a time. No need for all these silly debates. Your concentration must be on the release of Mazin Nandekano and I mean to push for Biafra. You must get this Biafra. Biafra is freedom. It doesn't matter what you do with your freedom, but everybody requires freedom. Without freedom, it means strangulation. And the human beings are not here, mortal beings are not here to strangle one another. Let me be very frank with you. Our world is full of limitless resources. It is only those who are insane that believe that their survival depends on the destruction of others. God made this world and put in it limitless resources. Majority of the resources are yet untapped. They are untapped because mortal beings are so confused, busy killing themselves, busy trying to suppress others, that they haven't even begun to tap into the resources of this world. Because as the sand are numberless, you can't number the sand, so are the limitless resources in this world. But because mortal beings were derailed to think that they are animals, mortal beings were derailed to believe that it's about hegemony, it's about conquering one another. I can assure you that the money being wasted fighting even this war in Ukraine, this war between Russia and Ukraine, in fact, between NATO, America, Ukraine, and Russia, because that's what it is. The resources, the destruction, if you pull them together, there will be no poor child in this world. Just this war alone. I'm not talking about all these nations and the military hardware they've amassed, their military budget. Okay? Just for killing people. Mind you, when we say military budget, their military budget is for killing, nothing else. They'll say, oh, it's for defense. But let me be very frank with you. Every bomb made is made with the intention of killing. And that's why I have to put humanity on notice that anything is possible. Because you cannot have nuclear bomb for fancy. Every bomb made is meant for the killing of human beings. And if it is nuclear, it is there waiting for their conditions to be right. And once the condition is right, it's got to be used. That is human nature. You can't go and buy gun and keep in your house for fancy. That is only a mad person who will think that. Once you have bought something, you bought it for use. The only thing that will stop you from using that thing is when the conditions are not right. So let nobody fool you that, oh, Russia will not use nuclear. Or, oh, America will not use nuclear. Oh, sorry. That is if the conditions are not right. Because once the conditions are right and the thing is there, it's going to be used. It's not for fancy. People need to understand that. But what I want you to know is that the resources of this world is so much that the much we are wasting for the sake of hegemony, because you see all this nonsense being done, they're not being done because the world is really in difficulty. If I connect what is happening in Ukraine now to Africa, then you see why the war is going on. If I tell you that the First and Second World Wars were fought because of Africa, you might think it's a joke. But it's hegemony that people born out of two people's sexual intercourse, because that's how everybody came. People who came to get to know about this world just because two people had sexual relations. Okay? People who could not have survived without other people, because our survival, each of us, it doesn't matter who you think you are now. I'm the prime minister, I'm this, I'm that. It was because of others that you survived. No baby can survive this hazardous world where you have mean animals, where you have poisonous grass, poisonous seeds everywhere. No human baby would have survived without the total nurturing of other people. No human baby has any contribution whatsoever in their survival. And it's important we understand this. So, you are looking at someone and people who came out through this process of coming from a woman's womb, totally naked, totally empty-handed, totally vulnerable to the extent that they needed other people for their survival. They brought nothing whatsoever into this world. But suddenly, they began to believe that they own themselves. They own other people. They are meant to be dictating for other people. They own other places in the same world they never knew existed until they came out of the womb. Now, if that is not mental disorder, if that is not the height of madness, then I can assure you that psychiatry does not exist. And if it exists, then it only exists because it is a fraud against the weak, the poor, and the vulnerable. Because it means that psychiatry exists, but it has no provision for those that needed it most. Because those that needed psychiatric intervention most are those who believed that they owned themselves, they own other people, and they own the world. They own parts of the world. Even though they were byproducts of other people's sexual intercourse. Those are the real mentally sick people. And I don't know why people can't see it. So to all those who want freedom, and I want to assure you, there is no fear or favor in this. You're not doing anybody a favor or fearing anybody, because, I'm sorry, the same death that killers impose on others, yeah? That is the same death, okay, that killers would die. So there should be no worries at all about anybody that is breathing this natural air, because everybody must surely exist. So you can't be afraid of anybody in demanding your freedom and in stepping forward for your freedom. So I say to all those asking for freedom, you don't need to ask now, you got to go and get it. It doesn't matter what it takes. You got to take that freedom. You got to take it. It is yours. God gifted it to you. Okay? Anybody looking to stop your freedom is just another criminal. It's another criminal. It's another sick person because they are sick. But rest assured that they...
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.